here, you can see he has a lot of energy. Managed to get a Contaminate in on that robotics facility just to delay that first Colossus. And that's so annoying. You don't see Contaminate used a whole lot. It's getting more popular recently, but seeing Contaminate to delay things like the first Colossus, it's so nice. Because it delays it for so long. It can be so important if you can get a good number of Contaminates down. I saw Rhett chain Contaminate a hatchery with two overseers, and he delayed the guy for a good like 2-3 minutes, and it was just really nice play. If you make that overseer for scouting purposes anyway, trying to get that Contaminate in on a good high value target is just really nice.
And Sen is just getting ready to play defensively. He's spreading his overlords out all over the place, trying to get a creep highway going, and luckily Huck is at least being aggressive in repelling the overlord scouts, and that is so important. Because Sen already grabbing the gold now, getting a 4th base. He is just content to expand and expand and expand. And if Huck can't make him feel even at least threatened in some way, he's not going to be able to win this game. And by killing off the overlords, denying scouting, making it look like he's going to attack, Sen won't just be building bases and expanding and expanding and expanding. Huck needs to contain him, and he's doing a good job of that.
But there are corruptors coming out on the field. I mean, he has a good army here. He's got a lot of stalkers, a lot of zealots. He's got the one immortal there. Just like, what's up? I only need one. 2 Colossus with the range, with 3rd one popping out. And, you know, Sen is only just on this Roach Hydra, which really early versus low numbers of Colossus, you can make that work out. But as he gets up to these higher Colossus counts, it becomes so much tougher without those air units. So the Corruptors are now popping out. The Corruptors are a tricky thing, because you kind of have to hit that magic number of Corruptors. They do amazing bonus damage versus Colossus, but it's not the same thing as a Viking, where if you make too many Corruptors, you can get yourself into trouble, because then you won't have enough of a ground army. Yes, they can contaminate units, but they cannot land like a Viking. So you do want to get these Corruptors out to try and take down those Colossus, but you don't want to make too many. It's kind of a tricky balancing act. So here we go, contaminating Colossus and then going after them with those Corruptors. Has to back off so Huck cannot focus fire them. Just giving him time to do a whole bunch of splash damage with these Colossus. Great force fields trapping in a good number of those roaches, keeping them out of the battle. One of the Colossus is down. The second one is going to follow very shortly thereafterwards. He will force Huck back for the moment since there's just one Colossus left. But Huck killed a decent number of units there. Try and stay even, but with this high yield running, I'm not sure if he can stay even on unit trades at the moment.
Yeah, and Sen is in a great position, moving those spine crawlers further forward. He's going to outproduce Huck non-stop. He's doing a good job keeping pace. The one thing Huck has coming is he has this Templar on the way, so if he can hold out long enough, he has a chance to strike back, and he needs to strike back, because this Colossus did not work for him.
Yeah, and Sen's doing a great job of burrowing these roaches in between these little skirmishes. It's a wonderful thing. Still underused. He got that burrow and the tunneling claws. Could have used that to get away from some of those force fields there in that battle, but he is using it to heal up in between. When you do have that burrow tech, it's always good to get your roaches back up to full health in between every single engagement. It helps a lot. He just finished drop tech. Oh no. Loading up 12 roaches into these overlords. Let's see where he's taking these. That could also be used to drop directly on top of the army in their next engagement, as the overlords basically just give them a 200 health shield when they're moving in on the army. So it looks like he's going to go for a little bit of a distraction drop into Huck's main, and then possibly try and hit him from a different angle with the rest of his army. And of course, if Huck doesn't react by pulling enough of those forces to stop the drop, he could do some damage as well.
And again, this is the real advantage of Sen. He has the creep, he has the overlords, he has vision, he knows where things are and where things aren't. And Huck can't see this coming. No warning at all. 12 roaches in the back. He thinks there's a fight going on at the front. He's trying to push out, and he's forced to retreat now because he sees these overlords. And now Sen can comfortably advance those spine crawlers even further forward while these roaches take out what looks like a stalker and a couple probes. Good effective drop there by Sen.
Yeah, and an intelligent move here by Huck. He pulled all of his forces back into his main base, and he was like, okay, that was a little bit too much. He's probably going to hit my third. So then he pulled another... Oh, the Nexus actually goes down. I thought he was going to fight that off. But Sen does manage to take that out, and that will delay the gas mining at the main, which is going to be really important for Huck. as he's trying to produce these high gas units like Templars, Immortals, Colossus. He's researching Blink. Losing 2 of those assimilators, basically, is a really big deal at this point. But, you know, he did protect his third base. Just like I said earlier, he didn't pull enough of the forces back into the main to fight that off before taking too much damage. And now Sen is on Hive Tech. There is an Ultralisk Cavern in production with good upgrades. Level 3 armors and starting production. He has level 2 missile attacks, and he's starting the melee upgrades. If he can get these Ultras out, he'll be in a good position to do a lot of damage with them.
And Huck certainly seems to recognize that to do or die at this point. He is moving out, and we'll see if he can be successful here. It has engaged the Spine Crawlers, and this is where it will all come down to. Huck really needs to win this. He has Templar, he has Colossus. They both have amazing concaves, but the Colossus is totally mismicroed.
Yeah, and those storms are beautiful by Huck. They're just right dead on the huge lines of roaches. The roaches set up this huge concave, so it was not easy to hit a lot of the roaches, but he hit as many as possible in every instance. Sen backed up and he did not heal his roaches, so some of these roaches are pretty low. He's getting trapped on this ramp by Huck, which is a bad position, so he does manage to get down off the ramp. These Corruptors are doing an amazing job of corrupting the targets, even though they cannot shoot them. Gets the corruption onto the Immortals and helps those roaches kill them just a little bit faster. Sen really needs to burrow these roaches and heal them up.
Ultralisks are on the way, and that's so important. Huck had to win that, and it looks like he is, unfortunately, forced to retreat. And once those 7 Ultralisks with the upgrades hit the field, Huck is just going to get torn apart. He wasn't successful. He needed to kill an expansion, did not do that. Just killed some creep tumors and some spine crawlers. Not enough. And there it is. Sen has finally burrowed the roaches just like you wanted him to. He's now producing speedlings. He just finished the adrenal glands, and this is a terrifying late-game Zerg composition. And this is good to see. This was a problem Sen had in the previous series against Terran. He didn't get to Tier 3, and it's good to see that right away. He sees his opportunity, and he's reaching for it, pressing his advantage nicely. And this game almost certainly going for Sen.
He doesn't even have all of his Ultralisks here. The rest of them are still trying to join in on the fight, but he does have these roaches. More of the Ultralisks running in late to the party. Archons are pretty good against Ultras. They delay them for quite a long time. But there we go, still using that corruption from those Corruptors. Excellent job of using those units. Even though Huck has stopped making Colossus, these Ultralisks are cleaning everything else up. The Immortals are almost down. There's 2 left. These Ultras are cleaning them up, and Huck GG's. So well played by Sen. He's going to take the lead 2-1 in this series. Best of 5. Sen only needs 2 more, and Sen only needs 1 more. And Huck is backed right up against the wall. He needs to pull a win. His map choice here in the next game is going to be very important.
Yeah, so another game, unfortunately, very out of sync. You're like 10 seconds ahead of me now. I don't know what keeps doing this. But that was just so well played. That is Zerg at its finest. He wasted no time, got all the expansions very, very early, didn't give Huck a single good attack. Huck just never had an opportunity to score big. And this is what happens. Too long time passes, Zerg players on too many bases, and he's producing Ultralisks at half a dozen a time.
Yeah, he had like 7 Ultras popping after when the first round came, and then he just made 6 more after that. Just so many Ultralisks. And those Corruptors, man, even though the Colossus weren't dead, he still made really good use of them. He corrupted every single Immortal that was on the field after that. So it was an amazing job by Sen.
And he's now up 2-1, well deserved. So we'll see if Huck can stay in this and push it to a game 5, facing elimination. So we'll see which map he picks.